We trained 483 civilians that were turning into recruits and recruits that transform into Marines. So let's give your Marines a round of applause. I'd like to first start by thanking the MCCS staff and the Bayview faculty that have been able to host this event for us tonight and give us this beautiful catering that we're going to have here in a few minutes. Let's give them a round of applause. I can't say how proud I am to look out and see all of these smiling faces, all of these supporting family members that helped our recruits that are now Marines get through the rigors of the last 2 months. Over the last 2 months, your new Marines were trained in the rigors of physical fitness, martial arts training, a week of swim qualification. We went up north, we hit the rifle range, your new Marines learned how to execute expertly the shooting of the M16 Air Force Service Rifle. And I can say right now that every Marine in the company shot incredibly well. We had one of the highest shooting averages up north.
Yeah.
Shooting expert. Up north after range week, firing week where they qualified, they went through the rigors of what we call field week and then the crucible. And during that time, they had a lack of sleep, they had a lack of food, and they hiked over 30 miles up and down the ranges of 501 and 505, culminating in the Reaper event, where they earned that EGA. Now, I can tell you after more than a few cycles of doing this, that it is very challenging, and it's hard to do. The entire cycle is something that's very hard to get through, and there's no way they could have done it without the love and support of all of you throughout these last 12 weeks, writing letters home, occasionally getting phone calls. You guys, that support that y'all provided to your loved ones truly helped your recruits that are now Marines get through the toughest boot camp that the Department of Defense has to offer. So give yourself another round of applause. I'd now like to talk about the drill instructors that were under my command, and the unique opportunity I had in leading them and training your loved ones. Now these drill instructors, they're the top 10% of the Marine Corps. It's the cream of the crop, as you can imagine, that come to Recruit Training Depot, San Diego, to train civilians into recruits and transform them into Marines. It's not an easy job. It's truly a 24/7 occupation through blood, sweat, and tears, selflessly giving everything that they have to turn your loved ones into quality Marines. Now I'm going to introduce them to you here in a few minutes, but before I do that, I'd like to set the stage. So what we're going to do here in a few moments is we're going to do a rehearsal or a mock run-through of the speeches that your recruits get on day one. The first faces they see, all right, they're going to get a senior or a series commander speech, and that's going to lead into that senior drill instructor speech. And that senior drill instructor is the drill instructor that's ultimately responsible for the training of the young men that are now Marines. They lead a 4 to 5 man drill instructor team, and they're ultimately responsible for the day-to-day training schedule and that transformation that you're going to see here in a couple days at graduation. So to up the ante, I'm now going to introduce you to the drill instructors.
Hey!
well-trained, and able to continue the legacy of our Corps well into the future. I will now have the drill instructors reaffirm their commitment to you and to the Marine Corps by administering the drill instructor creed. These recruits are entrusted to my care.
These recruits are entrusted to my care.
I will train them to the best of my abilities.
I will train them to the best of my abilities.
I will develop them into.
I will develop them into.
Smartly disciplined.
Smartly disciplined.
Physically fit.
Physically fit.
Basically trained Marines.
Basically trained Marines.
Thoroughly indoctrinated.
Thoroughly indoctrinated.
In love of Corps and country.
And love of Corps and country.
I will demand of them.
I will demand of them.
And demonstrate by my own example.
And demonstrate by my own example.
The highest standards.
The highest standards.
Of personal conduct.
Of personal conduct.
Morality.
Morality.
And professional skill.
And professional skill.
Company First Sergeant, take charge, make these recruits Marines.
Yes, sir. Sit up straight and look at me now. My name is First Sergeant Bernard, and I am your company First Sergeant. I will assist my duties by Senior Drill Sergeant, stands our goal. Senior Drill Sergeant, stands our fall. Senior Drill Sergeant, Sergeant Schrader. Senior Drill Sergeant, Sergeant Radagao. Senior Drill Sergeant, stands our Prater. And Senior Drill Sergeant, stands our Brown. It is our mission to train each one of you to become a United States Marine. A Marine is characterized as one who possesses the highest military virtue. He obeys all orders, respects his seniors, and strives constantly to be the very best at everything that he does. Discipline and spirit are the hallmarks of a Marine. Each one of you can become a Marine if you develop discipline and spirit. We will give every effort to training, even if some of you have given up on yourselves. Starting out, you will treat all Marines with the highest level of respect, for we have earned our place as Marines and accept nothing less than from you. We will treat you like we treat our fellow Marines, with firmness, fairness, dignity, and compassion. At no time will physical or verbal abuse by any recruit will not be tolerated.
Whoa, First Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll stop there.
Aye, aye,
I
sir.
don't need to hear the rest of that speech unless they're going to step on those yellow footprints, right? So, that was an example of the exact same speech, with the last speech being abbreviated a little bit, of what your new Marines heard for the first time in the squad days, meeting their drill instructors and meeting their company staff. These speeches set the expectation of what they demand from recruits, as well as highlighting what they're going to give to recruits and what they're going to demand of recruits throughout recruit training. All right? So you got a little taste there. At this time, I'm going to turn this over to the Bayview staff, who will lead you through the rest of tonight's events. Again, I really appreciate all of your love and support that you've given to your new Marines throughout the last 12 weeks. And it's awesome how many faces we have here tonight, especially in light of the state of the pandemic and families being able to come back from the depot again. Your support here, your showing here, really gives added value to graduation week, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
The